All right, so yeah, I think this will do. Okay. All right, that is being recorded. Okay, so now we know who the training is for. So I'm just going to ask a quick question, right? If you've gone through the list of the persons that the training is for and you're not sure you're supposed to be here, you're not sure you fall into this category, I'll just give you the next 30 seconds to leave us, and you can, of course, reach out to me in the DM and ask for a refund after the today's section, right? So you have the chance to excuse us and get a refund after today's section if you think you don't fall into any of those categories before we jump into the main order of the day. So we have 30 seconds. All right, so since I don't get to see anyone leaving, so I want to assume everyone here falls into this category, and of course the training is for everyone that is present here today. For of course, for the persons that are yet to join us, I know a number of persons have said they won't be able to join. They'll get a recording, and of course every other person here would get a recording as well. So we'll get into the training proper, right? So today is basically on customer service. Of course, we are onboarding into customer service. So if you have an idea, good for you. If you don't have an idea, of course, good for you as well, because we're going to be getting all the tips and tricks on how to find a way as a customer service person, right? So first things first, I have what is customer service and what is a great customer service and who is a customer service person, professional. Now, personally, I'll tell you customer service is the experience you have before, during, and after an interaction with a customer service person, right? So the service you received before, during, and after, all that the whole experience put together is considered customer service. And I like to believe that at some point in life, each and every one of us have gotten to encounter one form of customer service or the other, right? So customer service is not basically a title, right? It doesn't have so much to do with a title. I mean, a lot of us get to take a skill in the line of customer service or build a career around it. But anyone can be a customer service. So long you get to deal with people every other day, you prefer a service or a product in one form or the other, you are a customer service person. One moment. Y'all, welcome to Nigeria. Sorry. Don't see this coming. Okay. So long you get to offer a service or you get to, oh God, I don't need distraction. You are a customer service person. So we have here customer service is the bridge between companies and customers, and without it, no matter how great a product is, customers will leave, right? Now, I had to put this in the most layman term so we understand basically what customer service is, right? So it's just a bridge between a service and its customers. It's just a bridge between a company and its customers. And I tell you what, like I said, without it, without customer service, nobody would want to patronize a brand. And I'll give a certain scenario, right? Now, imagine you walk into a store. It could be a supermarket or a small store. A store that you're looking for, maybe you're looking for a particular item, right? And you walk into the store and the whole place is just clothed and you're not able to find the item you're looking for. Maybe there's nobody in the store to even guide you on where to find the product, and you just keep looking for spending time. Before the next maybe 5-10 minutes, you don't find the item. As a human being, it's normal. Your emotion kicks in and you get frustrated, right? I tell you what, even if you're able to find that item in that store, the next time you would not want to go to the store. You would want to look for a better option because nobody likes to waste their time, especially when they're spending money, right? So basically, when customers come to your business or come to your place of service and they somehow experience and they have an experience that makes them feel frustrated, they wouldn't want to stay. And great customer service is providing a friendly, swift, and seamless experience for all customers consistently. So I say this because I've worked in the line of customer service for the longest time, right? And some persons would think that, oh, maybe because of how I'm feeling in the moment, maybe as a human being, I have my own emotions. Someone comes in to maybe act a certain way. I want to ignore, I just want to let it be. As a customer service, you are not allowed to deal with your emotions while you are on the job, right? So by all means possible, you have maybe you have a customer that is trying to frustrate you, or you have a customer that is just not having a good day, they're just having a bad day. Let me not use frustrate in that sense, but let's say they're just having a bad day and they're trying to pour the aggression on you. Their issue might not even necessarily have to do with the form of aggression they're passing, but they're just having a bad day. As a customer service, you're not supposed to react to that energy. So I would always indulge everyone I come across with. You know, you want to do well in the line of customer service. You want to make sure your mental health is in check. Very important, right? So whatever puts your mental health in check as a human being, by all means, you want to, of course, indulge that. So it might be music, it might be maybe just calm songs, anything that have you in check while you're on the job, because people will come and try to frustrate you, right? So we're not just going to build on this too much, but I like to believe that with the definition we have here, we understand what customer service is. So basically, customer service is just a bridge between the company and its customers, and it has to be friendly, it has to be swift, it has to be seamless for all customers that come in all the time. So you can't say, oh, because Mr. A was being nice to me, I'll be nice to him, and because Mr. B was being mean, I'll be mean to him. No, you have to be nice to every of your customer that come in every time, all the time, consistently. It has to be consistent, right? And who is a customer service professional? A customer service professional, agent, or representative is a person whose job is to interact with customers and provide them support. So basically, at every point in time as a human being, where you had to interact with another person and provide support to them in one form or the other, you were preferring or you were offering the duty of a customer service person. Very important. So whether paid or not, I like to think that at some point in life, every one of us here have offered the service of a customer service. So with or without your awareness, somehow you're a customer
You are not
service,
sure of the
right?
car that is coming to pick you up.
Okay, I'll just mute this person. Who are they?
Maybe that one with me and
All right, sorry about the distraction. So with or without your knowledge, somehow we are all customer service person. So I'll just move to the next slide. It says, why is customer service important and why do companies pay for customer service? Now, this sounds a bit tricky, right? So the exact same reason why a company pays for customer service is why customer service is important. So I'll go over that again. Companies basically pay for customer service for the reasons why it is important. So if customer service is not important, the companies or let's say firms, they would not want to, of course, spend money on that, right? They would not want to build a budget because in the line of customer service globally, companies spent running into billions of dollars, putting out, getting in employees, be it freelancers or remote workers, or let's say 9 to 5. They spend quite a lot employing a lot of people in the line of customer service. That is to tell you how important the job of a customer service is. And what are the importance of customer service to companies? First, here it says, sorry, I'm distracted again. I will try not to pay attention to the distraction, so I'll just mute everyone. Okay, so I can mute everyone. So I'll just mute this person. I'm not sure who it is. I can't even find them anymore. Please, if your mic is turned on, can you just quickly mute your mic? Thank you. All right, Victoria, your hands are up. You want to say something before I continue? All right, just to be sure that we're all following and of course we can all hear me, can you all give a thumbs up again? I just want to be clear. All right, thank you. So we'll just go ahead and continue, right? Now, the reason why customer service is so important to companies, or it could be a small supermarket, it could be a small store, but customer service, of course, is important to every firm that gets to employ their service. First of all, it builds loyalty, right? And loyalty is very important to every brand face. Loyalty is very important. I like to use my favorite scenario, which is my boat experience. A lot of us might know the boat brand, but I'll just, of course, introduce it to us again. So the Bolt brand is a transportation and delivery brand, right? So what they do basically is offer transportation and delivery service. And I'm an Advent preacher. I preach the gospel of boats as though it belongs to my family, right? And that is because I have experienced very great customer service from the Bolt brand. Numerous times I've had like testimonies. It feels like a testimony. Let me just put in that word because times where even when I had a bad customer service, the way they handled it, it felt as though the owner of the company knew me personally, right? And that is why I'm confident to always want to talk about them at every point or any chance I get, right? So customer service is important to brands because it builds loyalty. And you see how well I speak about the Bolt brand. That is because I am loyal to that brand, right? So let's say I want to use a transportation service or delivery service. I would never think about any brand. I would never think of any brand. The first brand that comes to my mind is the Bolt brand because I trust their service 100 and I know that even when things go sour, there'll be someone to handle it, of course, amicably and properly, right? So knowing fully well that they can have a customer service that builds trust within their customer and builds loyalty, they would willingly want to pay for that service. They will want to go above and beyond and make sure they pay for that service. Because what does loyalty do to brands? Loyalty, of course, help um, the brand's face. It puts the brand face out. Again, just the way I'm talking about the Bolt app. If you've never heard of Bolt before, I'm sure after to this section you'll want to probably just Google it or maybe ask about it, what especially they do, or you just want to employ their service, right? Because there's someone out there telling you that the Bolt app, it's actually very seamless, it's very friendly, and of course they are consistent with their customer service. Now you might be thinking, how have the boats app helped me in any way aside maybe just preferring transportation, which is what you pay for, right? Now I put it to you that if you use the boat app consistently, or not say consistently, let's say you use it from time to time, you might not know that the boat drivers are the customer service first front of the face of the boat brand, right? Now they are the customer service persons that you get to deal with. The times where you get to deal with the other end of the customer service is maybe when you have a complaint or you have a report. But the first customer service persons you get to deal with when you're employing the boat brand service is the driver. So they are the frontier of the brand and the first customer service person. Now, whatever happens before you get on that ride, during the ride, and after the rides makes up your experience of the boat brand, right? And let's say you book a ride and the driver is supposed to come pick you in the next, say, 2 minutes, and they take about 10 minutes to come. Again, as a human being, your emotions kicks in and you're already feeling frustrated. Now, that is an experience before the ride. Now, and then the driver comes and let's say he just give a shabby apology and say, oh, sorry, I was busy, or sorry, my tire was less and I was trying to fix it, or maybe sorry, something random just happened, and he just give maybe a very shabby apology. Now you know very well that your time is being counted as, of course, when your waiting time is being you pay for your waiting time on the boat app, right? So the more you wait or the more you keep the driver waiting, the more you're waiting, your fee increases. But that notwithstanding, even if that does not count, just keeping you waiting over the time that you were supposed to wait in the first place is already disrespectful to you as a person, and that somehow builds some form of frustration in you, right? And then again, he's giving a shabby apology. You're not comfortable, you're not okay with the apology, or you don't feel as though this person is really sorry. Somehow that is building the experience during the trip, right? And what happens after the trip? Because you are not happy about the service, maybe you react in a certain way, or maybe you just leave the car angrily and slam the door, and he says something to you that pisses you off. Now you have a terrible after experience, right? So, like I said before, during and after the service, all of that builds the experience. And for both, they would not want to have a frontier that would be rude to their clients or would bring bad reputation or, of course, not make their customers to build trust in them. So I'm sure that during the recruitment process for the Bolt app, they'll definitely have a list of do's and don'ts for their drivers to make sure that things are being put in order. This is not to say that, of course, there's no bad customer service or they don't have terrible drivers, right? But because again they know that they want to put their brand out there, they want their brand to strive and do very well. They'll try as much as possible to get the best hands on the job. So good customer service, which is very important to brands, drives word of mouth. Just the same way I'm telling you about the Bolt brand, this is word of mouth and this is referral. So I'm basically referring the Bolt brand to you. And of course, it protects brand reputation. Like I said, if you have a great customer service, you would want to speak well about it. If you don't, you'll speak terrible about the brand. And when you talk to one person about it, even if they don't get to experience it, they will tell the next five persons, and the next five persons tell the next five persons, just like networking. And that is the same thing that happens when you have a good experience, right? You refer one person or five persons, they refer another five persons, and they keep referring more people, right? And because of this, the brand revenue increases because the money they were going to spend in advertisements for this amount of people sort of somehow is just less, because whether or not this information comes to you, whether or not you see the brand advertisements, now you've heard about the brand. So in some sense, it is cheaper for brands to retain their customers than for them to, of course, get new customers. And that is why I say retention is cheaper than acquisition. It protects brand revenue, it drives growth, it reduces risks, of course, and it strengthens brand face and power, right? So this is why exactly customer service is important to companies. So we'll just move to the next slide. I'll try not to take too much time or build on one thing for too long. So I like to believe that we all understand what great customer service is, who a great customer service is, and why companies especially pay for customer service. So we're going to speak on the core skill of a customer service specialist, right? Whether a customer service specialist, a customer support, a customer agent, a customer representative, however you want to represent yourself in that line, you're still a customer service. And these skills are very important. I'll tell you, these skills are important as your daily routine. Let's say your health routine, right? I don't know what your health routine is, but your, let's say your hygiene, the way you wake up in the morning and you have your shower, you want to maybe brush your teeth and maybe use some skincare. As a customer service, these skills are very important. These are the skills that will guide you through your career as a customer service. So you want to build on them if you don't already have them, and you want to intentionally do that, right? So communication skill first on the list. As a customer service person, trust me, you need to be able to communicate clearly. And what is communication? Communication is an exchange of information, either through ideas, through, it can be through emotion, it can be through hearing, it can be through sound, it can be through anything. Exchange of information, basically. So when you're exchanging information, the next person needs to understand what you're doing, right? So I can say, oh, today I want to hold a training on customer service, and maybe I come here and I'm speaking on something that does not have to do with customer service, or maybe I'm speaking on customer service, but I'm using very vague words or very cliche words, and y'all don't understand me, right? Now, that would take away the purpose of whatever it is we have to do here. And I want to believe so far, like from the beginning coming to this point, everyone here understand, of course, everything I've said so far. And if you don't understand, by all means, please, again, I would say signify by raising your hands, and I'll go over whatever it is you don't understand, right? So communication skills, like I say, very important. You want to communicate clearly, you want to communicate professionally, and you want to be sure that whoever it is you're speaking with understands you, right? Because you might think that you're communicating clearly, but the next person does not understand you. So in communication, in communication when it comes to customer service, you want to be very sure that whoever it is you're passing the information to understands you. So at every point in time, you want to be able to run feedbacks and get checks that, oh, the person I'm passing this information to understand me. So whether it's over the phone or over the chat or however you're preferring, you're offering that customer service, be sure that you're communicating clearly. The next on the list is active listening. Again, just like communication, it is very important to listen in the line of customer service. So a customer can come and say one thing and you're hearing another thing. Or maybe because you're busy doing something that has to do with what does not have to do with your job, maybe you're just distracted. A customer might be saying something and you're not paying attention, and before you know, you are giving them maybe a chain of thought or a line of thought of what does not deplete what they're saying, right? So you want to, very important, listen keenly and actively to whatever a customer is saying, either via chat or via phone call. You want to understand the customer. That way, communication is being passed accurately, right? And problem solving. For me, I like to think that as a Nigerian, you already have this skill. Like, this is one core skill that God gave us as Nigerian. If you're a Nigerian, you're not able to solve problem. I don't know if you're truly a Nigerian, because by default, we are problem solvers, right? So problem solving is another major skill in the line of customer service. If you're not able to be proactive as a customer service, you will not thrive in this line of job, right? So you have to be very proactive. Something is happening here. You want to look for how to diffuse it. A customer comes with a complaint, regardless of whether you've been trained on that complaint, you have an insight on it. You want to be on top of your game. You want to escalate it quickly as possible, and solve that problem. So very important. You don't need to be the person to solve that problem, but you want to make sure that you're on top of your game to get the right person on it. So problem solving very quickly, effective. You want to provide prefer effective and quick solutions, right? Now, empathy. I'll tell you guys a story, quick one. Now, my boss has said something in one of our meetings, and I think they went through one of my chats with a customer, and during our meetings, they'll come and say, Jane is not empathetic. I wouldn't even lie, that broke my heart to pieces because how? Right? I heard that, and when I went through the chat, indeed, I felt as though I was talking to my enemy. It felt so rash, it felt so irrational. It was just hitting the person where it hurts the most, right? And I cannot excuse that behavior at all, because that is not the attitude of a customer service person, especially a customer service professional, right? And I know what happened that day was this customer was bugging, and I had it up to here and I just had to spill it. But again, that was very wrong of me, and I did apologize for that and we moved past it. So empathy in the line of customer service is very important. If you know you're not empathetic as a person, if you know you're short tempered, I would advise you by all means, do not indulge the line of customer service, because people will intentionally frustrate you, right? People will just try to get on your toes. Someone came on my chat the other day, and the first thing they say to me is, I introduced myself, I welcome them on the chat, and the first thing they say is, you smoke? And in my head, I'm wondering, okay, good thing is I just diverted my attention from whatever it is that was going on with them, and I still paid, while paying attention to the chat, I'd ask them, how may I help you, sir? Right? So you want to be very empathetic, and empathy has to do with showing of care, making customers feel heard, right? So regardless of what the customer is throwing at you, regardless of how they are making you feel, whatever frustration they're trying to pass across, you want to wear their shoes. Now you want to feel that frustration with them, right? So a customer is coming to be abusive, you want to understand that this customer being abusive is not directly to you, is directly towards the service they are receiving. And why is the service so poor? Because if this customer is receiving a great service, they would not be this way. Of course, like I said, some situations can be exempted, but generally, as a customer service, you have to be empathetic every time, every second, every minute, every day, right? So very key skills and very important. The next is patience. It goes in with empathy. If you're not patient, you can be empathetic. That's just the truth. So you have to always understand that you need to stay calm, understand the customer, like I said, whether they're angry or frustrated, you have to be patient with them. Listen to all their gibberish. However, sorry to use the word gibberish, but listen to whatever it is they want to say, and of course, offer them the most help you can. Again, the next on the list is product knowledge. Product knowledge, very important. You can't work for a brand that you don't understand what you're doing, right? That would just be foolishness at its core. So before you even interview for a brand, you are expected that you want to run a check on their website or however you want to find information on the brand and run a background check on them, just so you can have an insight to the product or service they are offering. And now while you've onboarded into the job, you want to read about the brand. You want to get all the insights, all the knowledge, all the understanding you can get about the brand. Because the truth is, most brand during your training, they wouldn't train you on certain things, right? They expect that because you say you already have a skill in the line of this niche, you should understand that this is what you should do at this point in time. So you're now a staff of team. You want to go indulge yourself in that line of knowledge, get equipped with all the informations you should be getting equipped with, and understand the product knowledge. So when a customer comes with you with come through any question at you, you want to be on top of your game and make sure that you're giving them the right information. Very important. Another important skill is time management. Again, customer service in fact, is nothing without time management. If I come on a chat, I'm a customer service professional, but I tell you, I patronize a lot of brands. And the moment I go on any brand chat to complain and they're wasting my time, I get frustrated all the time, right? So that is to say, nobody likes kept waiting. Regardless of whether we are friends, I'm patronizing you as my friend or whoever, the moment someone is keeping you waiting, whether on the chat or on the phone, there's just this emotion, this frustration that comes in. So nobody likes being kept waiting. So as a customer service, whether you're attending to multiple people, you want to be on your game, you want to be on your A game, and you want to do it swiftly and, of course, efficiently. So you're not going to say, because I'm attending to 10 persons at the same time, I want to give Mr. A a terrible service, or I just want to be shabby in the message. No, you want to be detailed oriented. You want to give your best service to everybody within the short time possible, right? Next is adaptability, adjusting to different customers' personality. I've talked about this one while talking about empathy. You want to, of course, wear their shoes and see where it hurts the most and offer them a service that suits that pain they are dealing with in the moment. I hate to use the word profile. I checked it sometime. They say it's an archaic word, but somehow it just keeps coming to my head. So conflict resolution, again, is another core skill of a customer service person, right? Very important. You want to, again, conflict resolution goes with problem solving. But in the line of conflict resolution, you want to be sure that if this conflict, you're not able to, of course, trash this problem, you want to escalate it to your collaborating team. Like I said, as a customer service, you're just the forefront, you're just the face of the brand. You're not the technical guys, you're not the admin, you're not the finance team, or depending on where the section you're working, be it a health section, consultancy, logistic, or whatever. You're not the whole body of the team. So you want to work with your head, your hands, your leg, and make sure that you get what is done, right? So a customer come in with a complaint that you feel is above you or below you or however is not in your place, you want to escalate to the team in charge and be sure that it is being handled in time. The next on the list is attention to details, which goes with of course, active listening and communication. So you're listening, you're understanding them, and when you're giving out details, you're giving out accurate details, right? So let's say, I mean, we're all humans, we are flawed, we are prone to making mistakes. But you type something, and during the course of typing, you had made a mistake, maybe a typo error, and the customer has seen that. Regardless of whether the customer has seen that, you want to correct it quickly before the complaint. And even if the complaint, you want to still apologize and say, oh, that was a typo, I apologize for that mistake, right? But very important, you want to pay attention to details. For some persons, they will just say, I've done the mistake, I've done the mistake. No, don't let it be. Pay attention to every details. If you pay attention very well, you won't make that mistake. And whether or not you've made the mistake, you want to correct it. So attention to details is very important. Log in the correct information accurately and follow due process, right? Team collaboration, I've spoken that already. You want to be able to collaborate with other people. So as a customer service, first of all, you want to be a good person, right? If you're someone with an attitude that maybe you have mood swings, you want to work on that character, or you want to work on that personality, because you would not strive in this line of job. You want to be able to easily collaborate with all your teams. When I put out my flyer for the bootcamp, every one person in my team, in my collaborating team, they all reposted for me, right? It got to a point my boss was like, Jane, are you paying these people? In fact, it was talked about in two sections of my meeting. That was how much love I got from every staff member of the company. And that is because I'm able to collaborate with everyone at every point in time. So, very important, you want to have team spirit and you want to be able to collaborate with people easily, right? So, we'll just jump to the next because I think we've spent so much time on this. Okay, so next on the list is on the slide is dealing with a customer's complaint using the last method. So some of us in the line of customer service, we might have heard of the last method. Some of us might just be hearing about it for the first time. But what is the last method? This is very important. So I'll indulge us to, if you want to write it down, write it down. If you're going through this the video again, you want to make sure that you pay attention to this because this will be useful to you while on your job. This will be useful to you during the course of your interview section. So very important, memorize this and have it stuck to you. Let it live with you as a customer service person. So first on the line of the last method is L, which stands for listen, right? So you want to always listen first. A customer is coming. Let's say you have a down payment. Your company payment is down there. You're having a down payment, so to say, right? Now you understand that the inflow of complaints that will be coming will be regards to down payment. But you don't just want to assume that everybody coming to complain is complaining about down payments. Very important, every one person coming, you want to listen to them. So whether or not you already know what the complaint is, you still want to listen to them. If it's a chat, you want to still read the chat and know that, oh, this is exactly what this person is complaining. Because let's say 10 persons come to complain about down payment. One person might just come for inquiries. And because you try to not bother about all of those because, oh, you're saying that the payment section is down, you might just keep that one person that wanted to know about the brand or that just wanted to get insight about how to maybe initiate a transaction or buy a product or a service. So very important, you want to listen to customer, pay full attention, let them vent when they're angry. Let them say, oh man, it's fine. It's not directed to you. Again, as a person, they don't know you personally. They are just pouring out their frustration because of the service or whatever product they receive that they don't feel comfortable with, right? So remember again, as a customer service, the customer's complaint is not about you, it's about the service that they've received. So you want to give them the best service so they feel better the next time they come. Again, after listening, you want to apologize. Very important. Whether you feel like it or not, you will not say, oh, I'm the bigger person or I'm the smaller person. This is not your father's business. This is your job, right? This is your paycheck. Whether you're working as a freelancer for one client or you're working for a business or you're working 9 to 5, you want to always apologize, right? So whether the customer is wrong in customer service, all customers are right. So you want to always apologize. I apologize for any inconvenience caused. I apologize that you go to encounter this. I apologize even though it's not your fault. You always apologize. Every day I apologize to customers. So you always apologize and make them feel the best way possible, right? You don't want to come and say, oh, babe, you're not going to do it like an emotional thing, like you're apologizing to your loved one, but you want to be professional about it. Well, yes, apologize. Have the mindset of I will apologize today to 100 people, I'll apologize today to 50 people. As a customer service, you would always apologize to someone, and it should be part of you and it should come genuinely so your customer can feel it because the same way you can feel their frustration, they can feel your emotions as well. The next thing is solve, right? So after apologizing, you want to solve their problem because someone tells you, oh, you patronize a brand and you're not happy about it, and they tell you, oh, we are sorry we responded late, or we are sorry about the service you received. So what? If you're not fixing that issue, then you've done nothing for me. So as much as you're going to apologize, you want to be on top of that situation and deal with it and get it solved, right? Next on the line is solve it. Solve it in the most quickest time possible. Like I've said, time is key in the line of customer service. So you want to solve their problem, understand them, and solve it as quickly as possible. If you're escalating it to the collaborating team or you're getting a higher body, your superior management on it, do it quickly, but make sure to solve whatever the problem is. If it's beyond, if it's a problem that cannot be solved, again, you want to explain to the customer in the best way possible. There are scenarios where customers in one of the companies I work with, which is a fintech, some customers, out of their mistake and carelessness, sort of use the wrong wallet. And you know how crypto works. If you've traded before, I like to think that it has happened to the best of us. So you transact and maybe you use the wrong network or the wrong wallet address. That money is gone forever. It cannot be traced, it cannot be found, it cannot be retrieved. So these customers now, they come to you and they're asking you for their money. And because I know 100% your money is gone forever, you're not getting this money again. I'm not going to come and tell you that, sir, your money is gone, no, you've lost your money. Or I'm not going, even if when I'm going to apologize to you, I'm not just going to say it and put it to your face that your money is lost, right? I want to put in words that appeal to your emotion. Regrettably, we understand that this was a mistake, but we want to, of course, put it out to you that this transaction has been lost because you use a network that this platform does not support. Now, going forward, would advise you to please pay attention when you're initiating your next transaction to avoid loss of fund. You want to talk to them like humans. You want to speak to them as though these are your siblings or your friend, because this can be anybody, right? A number of times, a customer come in and they're losing like very huge. Just 2 days ago, a customer lost about 1.6 million, and I felt really hurt, even though it was not my money, because I mean, 1.6 million is a lot of money. And if you dash me that money, I'll pray for you. I know the kind of prayer I'll pray for you. So you're losing that kind of money somehow, even though it's not my money. I feel hurt in some way, and I want to, of course, appeal to your emotion with exactly how, because I understand to an extent how you're feeling, even though not exactly. I want to be able to appeal to your emotion. And the last thing on the list is thanks, right? So you want to appreciate the customer, acknowledge them. Customers like when their ego is being rubbed, right? As a customer service, you want to know how to rub customers' ego, whether or not they were nice to you. At the end of every service, you want to thank them, you want to appreciate them, and of course, you want to ask for feedback. And you cannot do that without appreciating them. So for me, when I'm on the job, whether call or chat, I have a template that I use to welcome customer. And even in my welcome template, there is a portion for feedback. So I told them that you're welcome. Please, at the end of the service, make sure to give me a rating so we can understand how to improve our service. And at the end of the chat, I still tell them, thank you for your time. I appreciate. Please do not forget to leave a rating or feedback so we know how to improve our service, right? Very important, you want to thank them, because this feedback will do a lot for you as a person, even more than it will do for the customer, right? So you want to thank the customer at the end of the service. So that is what the last method is about. So I like to think that every one of us here understand the last method, and over time we'll get to build on it and let it be part of us. Because like I said, if you're looking to build a career in the line of customer service, you will need to carry this along even in your interviews, right? So yes, and we'll move to the next slide. Now, there are do's and don'ts in customer service, and I just picked a number of them. Of course, these are not everything, but just a number of them. So there are certain things you should say, and of course, not say to a customer. So a customer comes in, they're angry, they're saying a lot of things. You don't tell the customer to calm down, right? That is very, very wrong. There's a certain way you phrase your word to a customer, even though you might feel bad for them or feel bad about the situation, but because you phrase it in a certain way, the customer might feel disrespected, and at the end of the day, they will give you a terrible rating. So you want to use the best words possible, right? I understand how frustrating this is for you. Very important. The next is, let me fix this right away for you. No customer wants to hear, oh, this has happened, it has happened. Oh, I can't do this, or that is not my job. You want to tell them that even though you know that you're not the right person for that, you're fixing it. Or let me fix this for you. Could you please spare some time? Okay, let me quickly run a check and see what the problem is. Can you please stay on the chat or check back in maybe 30 minutes? Or please hold on while I fix this for you right away. Or hold on while I speak to the person that can fix this, or hold on while I escalate to the appropriate team. You want to use the right words possible. And again, you want to thank them for their patience. You don't just want to say, oh, you have to wait. So every time I talk to customers, I say, thank you for your patience and understanding. Please, could you just wait for a moment, right? Now I'm appealing to their emotions, so they know that when I'm saying wait, they know I'm already telling them that, oh, thank you for your patience. So if the customer is going to be angry about waiting, because I already said thank you for your patience and understanding, they'll just want to give me some grace. So you can't just say, oh, you have to wait, sir, or just hold on, sir. That is rude, even though you're using a sir, right? So you want to appeal to the customer in the best way possible. Of course, you want to make sure that you get their issue resolved. So I'll make sure this get resolved. You say to them, whatever it is you're doing, you want to carry your customer along. Your customer is not a sorcerer, right? They're not a diviner. So whatever it is you're doing, carry your customer along the step. If they're holding, if you're escalating an issue and it's going to take a while and they have to hold, in between the call, you want to say, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm keeping you waiting. Please hold on a minute. Someone would respond to your issue, or we're on top of it right now. Someone is looking into it and it will be resolved shortly. Kindly hold a minute, right? You're talking to them and walking them through the process so they're not just left alone and they don't get frustrated in between. And last again, you want to appreciate them for bringing their complaints or suggestion or feedback to you. So you don't want to say that is our policy, or so a customer comes and say maybe you offer products, right? What your company offers is in the line of product, and then you have, like, let me say utensils, and a customer come and say, I don't like this color of this cope. This was not the cope I ordered, and you say, well, this is the only color of the cope we have right now. No, you want to tell them, okay, I appreciate you bringing this to understanding. What color would you prefer? If you don't have the color, you say, okay, right now we don't have the color. You want to appeal to them, we don't have the color. Would you rather do with this, or should we make you a refund? And when we have the color you need, of course, we'll reach out to you. We'll send you a message so it can be delivered to you, right? In the line of service, like what we do, which is, let me just use one of my company, FinTech. A customer comes to me, recently a customer came to me and said, I've been referring a lot of people to your company, but I've never gotten a referral bonus. Now I know that the option of the referral bonus is not functional in the moment, but because this customer, of course, according to him, he has referred a number of persons, whether true or false, I don't want him to go feeling bad. I told him that, sir, thank you so much for your suggestion. I would escalate it to the appropriate team and would look into it. Again, I appreciate the feedback and thank you. So you want to make them feel as welcome as possible. You want to make every customer that comes to you feel very important, right? So we'll just quickly move on to the next slide. Now, I believe that from everything said so far, we already understand who a great customer service is. We already understand the core skills of a customer service. We understand what it takes to be a customer service, what to say as a customer service person and what not to say. And now we're going to dive into the customer service niches. So a lot of people just hear customer service, they'll be like, customer service is everywhere, right? So like I said, customer service is is a broad niche. And you cannot just come and say, I'm a customer service person, or I'm a customer service agent. That is very vague. And when you say I'm a customer service agent, what do you do? Especially in the line of introducing yourself. People want to know exactly what you do, right? So I choose the 5 top niches in the line of customer service that I think everyone here can do very well, right? So just to be sure that we are following, can you guys give a thumbs up so I know that we're all following? I just want to get 1 or 2 thumbs up so I know you guys are hearing me. All right. Thank you. So in the line of customer service, I've picked the top 5 niches that I think everyone here can do very well. Now, top on the list is e-commerce and retail support. Thank you very much. So e-commerce and retail support. Now, what do they do in e-commerce and retail support? It's basically an online store, right? So stores like Amazon, Shopify, and every online stores that you see out there, Alibaba, and the rest. And there's huge demand in this line of business. There's huge demand of customer support in this line of business because I tell you what, human beings are very tough to deal with. So a brand might employ someone today and maybe they get to experience something and they're not comfortable, you're resigning the next day, right? And like I said in the group, I don't know if everybody here is in the group, but if you're not in the group, please make sure to send me a DM so I can add you in the group. I basically picked this time for this training because September is just in a few days, and in September is going to be massive job opening globally. So a lot of job recruiters have been on vacation and they'll be back to work now, and a lot of people are on vacation as well, and there's a lot of people resigning from their jobs because they just want to go have a good time. And of course, abroad is not like Nigeria that you have to die on your job. Abroad, if you're tired, you can leave. When you come back, there will always be a job waiting for you somewhere. You can always apply. And in some countries, they even pay them for not working. So imagine that the number of jobs everywhere, right? So September, the global job windows open, right? And if you set yourself right, you want to put yourself out there. Trust me, by the end of, let's say, October, you give yourself maybe a month, 2 months, 3 months, you should at least get one reasonable job for yourself, even in the line of freelancing. So it could be a contract, it could be short term, it could be long term, it could be a proper job that you just want to do remotely. You should be able to find something for yourself in the line of customer service. One moment. So, like I said, I picked up the finance niches or top five niches in the line of customer service that I think that would all do very well. The first on here is e-commerce, retail support. Like I said, they are online stores, and basically what they do is they take orders, refund, return, and product inquiries. So very simple thing. The customer comes to complain about the product they bought. You want to check and be sure that okay, this customer, even if the customer is lying, you just want to be sure that they patronize the brand, right? Abroad again, it's not like Nigeria where it's a do or die affair that you buy my product or you buy my service, you must use it because it's damaged. No, outside the country, when you buy a product or you patronize a brand, and maybe the product gets to you damaged, or maybe you were the one that damaged it, but because you reach out to this company and said this product got to me damaged, they will give you 100% refund, right? So in your line of customer service, maybe when you're doing your interview, you're being asked, how would you treat a customer that came in with a complaint of, oh, I bought something online and it got damaged, and what would you do for the customer? You want to understand what you would do for the customer. I mean, this is not specific to all brands, every brand and their policy, but in most company, they'll make 100% refund. So you want to tell that customer, apologize for the situation, we'll make a refund for you. And of course, some companies will make the refund and still send that product to the customer, right? So very important, you want to understand the policy of the business you're applying to work for. You just want to get an insight and you want to read for your interviews, get enough knowledge before you jump on it. So e-commerce, like I said, is a very easy brand. You attend to complaints, it might be through phone calls or through chat, very easy to go. SaaS and tech support, this has to do with software companies and app platforms. This has to do with a lot of troubleshooting, onboarding, back end, and stuff like that, right? So again, this is not difficult. When some people hear like troubleshooting, they think it has to do with a lot of programming and all of that. No, I know a number of persons that just go out of school that are working in this line and doing very, very well. The good thing about when it comes to knowledge is so long you give yourself to knowledge, it will welcome you, right? So long you allow it to come to you, it will definitely come to you, except you're not willing to give yourself to knowledge. Once you give yourself to knowledge, you're consistent at it, you're intentional, it will welcome you. So I always tell myself and everybody that come across me, nothing is too difficult for anybody to do. So long you're intentional about it and you really want it, you're thirsty and hungry for it, it will come to you, right? So next niche is financial services and fintech support, like bank, fintech, just like one of the brands I work with. Basically, we handle tickets, customers' complaints, KYC issues, and all of that. And that can be done over the phone, through emails, and through chats as well. Healthcare, I've worked with a healthcare company to insurance and support, and it can be hospital or health centers or clinic or insurance companies. And again, they take appointments, they attend to claims, and of course, policy questions and all of that, still through phones and chat or email. Some customer support are strictly email, some are strictly calls, some are strictly chat, but there are some that are all three combined. So I work with two different brands. One are all three combined, so phone calls, chat, and email, and the other one is just strictly calls. So you want to build yourself, if you want to build yourself in the line of one, say for instance you're a starter, you just want to start with one, then over time you want to build on other niches, that is fine, right? So we have travel and hospitality. Now I'm putting these niches out here so that when you're writing your resume or when you're optimizing your profile on any social media platform, you know how to optimize yourself, your headline. So you don't just want to say, I'm a customer service. Now, when I introduce myself, I say, I'm a customer service and a communication specialist. Now, that is a broad term, but because I know that in the line of customer service and communication, it's a wide range of services that I offer. I like to use customer service and communication. And I might decide that tomorrow I don't like this term again. I want to use something else, right? But in the line of customer service and communication, I know that there are services in this line and I can offer all of them and I'm very proficient at them. And that is why I'm comfortable using that term. So you don't want to use any ambiguous term. You want to use terms that your client can relate to. So I am a customer service representative, e-commerce and retail support in quotes. I'm a customer service representative, SaaS and tech support in quotes. I'm a customer service representative or a customer service support, traveling and hospitality support in quotes, so that people know what you do and they can identify you. And when brands are looking for a customer service in that line of field, of course it will be easy for the algorithm to pick you out instead of you just having like a broad name like customer service representative, right? So very important. So now we know what the niches, some of the niches we can dive into as customer support. This is very tiny. I picked out some of the CRM tools that we can, so I'm just going to zoom in a bit. I picked out some of the CRM niches, tools that we can use in the niche that I mentioned. So I'll zoom in a bit so we can see. So for e-commerce, the tools, I don't know if you can see this. Let me zoom in more. If this is enough, I'll just zoom in a bit more. So for e-commerce, you see you have Zendex. Now, for people that don't understand what CRM tools is customer relationship management. Now, these are tools that you use to relate to the customer, right? These are tools you use to manage the customer. So customer relationship management. So the customer is not going to appear in your dream or appear in your house. You want to reach out to them through a means, and those means are the tools that you use to reach out to them. And in the line of e-commerce, online stores, the tools they use mostly Zendex, right? So Zendex is a CRM tool. You have Georgia's, you have Freshdex, you have Shopify. Is a wide list of them. There are so many, but these I just picked them out because mostly brand will actually look for clients that have the skills of these CRM tools. So very important. If you're looking to dive into this niche, you want to understand how to use at least one of these tools, right? The next here for the SaaS and tech support is Zendex, Intercom, HubSpot, Jira Service Management. All of these are CRM tools. So you want to at least learn one or two. And if you notice Zendex is repetitive, I know how to use Zendex comfortably well. And if you want to learn how to use Zendex from me, you would have to pay because that's an entire different service on its own. But yeah, so I'll just zoom into the third. Okay, the third and the fourth here. And here we have Salesforce Service Cloud. This is for, of course, fintech. We have Zendex again. So you see Zendex is quite repetitive. We have Zohodex. I work with Zohodex as well. We have Freshdex, very repetitive again. So for health insurance, we have Salesforce, we have Zendex, again repetitive, ServiceNow, and Freshdex, repeating itself again. So for the last one, okay, I think I did 6 because I covered 4 CRM tools for cold calling. So for hospitality, we have Amadeus, we have Sabri CRM, Zendex again, and Salesforce. So by all means, you want to learn the use of Zendex or Freshdex or HubSpot, right? Any of those 3, you just want to pick from one and start from there. And over time, you want to learn how to use every other tool out there. And I tell you what, it is easy to find your way around this tool. Every of these tools have a trial section when you want to use them. There are YouTube videos that teaches how to find your way around this tool, so you don't necessarily need to pay anyone if you don't want to. But of course, if you want to, by all means, you should. But if you don't want to, you can just go on YouTube and you'll find how to find your way around these tools, right? And good thing is information is everywhere. ChatGPT make it very easy for us to get around information. So you can just give ChatGPT the right prompt and say, ChatGPT, I'm new in the line of customer service and freelancing, and I want to learn how to use the Zendex CRM. Can you give me step by steps, and can you give me steps on how to find my way around the CRM from maybe searching for it to the last step? I tell you what, ChatGPT will give you all the information you need to have you equipped in that line. Now, what is left for you is for you to read and understand and find your way around the platform. And if you have even maybe an insight to the overview, you've added to your CV and say, oh, I understand, I'm proficient, or I understand the use of Zendex. When a recruiter is looking for someone in that line, they'll pick you. And of course, for some job, right, the moment you say, I'm a professional in my field, during your onboarding, they don't care. They assume they've actually employed a professional. For other jobs, they will train you, right? For some jobs, they'll train you for a while. Others will tell you that there's a training, but you don't necessarily get to experience the training because, again, they assume that you're a professional. So I would say this, regardless of whatever tools you're learning, make sure you learn it to an extent. Learn it in depth, not just the surface. I got a job recently, and I tell you what, the training, even though it lasted for, let's say, a little over a week, but we're not doing anything. So sometimes we join the training, it's just me and the new employees, and other new employees we just in because the trainer is either busy with one thing or the other. And suddenly they just told me, you can jump on the call. Now, if I didn't know how to jump on a call, if I didn't know how to handle a script, I would have been completely lost. I was telling myself, I think 3 days ago, I was just laughing when I was talking to one customer. I said, good. If I didn't know how to attend to a customer in this line of service, this is how these people would have just left me on my own, and they would have just dug a pit for me and fall inside. So you want to have an understanding of what you're getting yourself into, so that just in case your trainer or whoever is supposed to onboard you is too busy, or they don't even have the time to onboard you, they're just telling you jump. Some jobs will tell you, can you resume immediately? And of course, if you're skilled in that line of niche, you should be able to resume immediately. So you want to jump on the job immediately. But if you lied on your CV, for me, I'm not against you lying on your CV or your resume, right, or your cover letter or your proposal. If you want to lie, by all means lie. Lie a very great lie, but be very sure that you see this lie you're lying, you can actually cover for it. So if you're saying I'm a professional, have an insight to what you're saying you're a professional, because the truth is, you see the directors, the CEOs, the what they call them, executive directors, managers, and all of that. Sometimes they don't do so much. They just have an insight to what they do, and they're lucky to be in that position. Of course, some did give themselves to a lot of knowledge to be in that position. Some of us didn't necessarily in it. They're just lucky to find themselves in that position because they were able to sell themselves properly, right? So when it comes to, which is what we're going to discuss tomorrow, freelancing, you have to know how to sell. You have to be a marketer. You know have to know how to sell yourself. But we're not going to dive into that today. I mean, we'll have all the time for that tomorrow. So yes, very important. Every niche you're looking to dive into, you want to understand at least one key CRM tool in that field. Now I added these cold calling telemarketing tools. Now for cold calling telemarketing tools, these are not necessarily tools that you should know by all means. Now these tools here are just collaborating tools, right? Like I said to us, no man is an island when it comes to job space. So you have to work with other people, and those are your collaborating teams. And sometimes, in most cases or in all cases, they have to be a collaborating tool. So the tool you're going to use to attend to a customer, it's not the tool you will use to chat with your colleague or escalate complaints to your colleague or team members, right? So there's always a collaborating tools, and those collaborating tools for people that are looking to dive into cold calling, telemarketing, appointment setting, you want to learn these collaborating tools. So some like Zoho, Salesforce, HubSpot, you want to have an insight to how they work. Again, this new job I joined, they just added me to the platform Slack. Nobody showed me how to use the platform, but because I've used this platform before in one of my previous jobs, it was very easy for me to navigate my way around the platform. Again, I'm using Zoom as a dialer. I've never used Zoom as a dialer before, but because I've used a number of dialers previously, I was able to easily find my way. Basically, I onboarded myself on the new job because nobody was there to carry me along. I was just doing my thing because I knew how to do my thing, right? So very important, you want to know how to do your thing as well. So now we know the customer service niches, and we know the tools that are needed in this customer service niches. I like to believe that during this course, somewhere within your heart and in your head, you're just thinking, oh, I think I'll do well in this line of customer service, right? And let me not just put this out one way. You might be in this training not necessarily because you want to be a customer service person. It might just be a skill that you want to have for yourself, or you're a brand owner, you just want to have the skill for your brand. By all means, you can just learn the skill just for this fact that, oh, maybe when I'm building my brand, I would want to use any of this skill, any of this CRM tool. Very important. That's fine as well, right? So you might be here for just the section of the freelancing and not the customer service. That is fine as well. So we'll move to the next slide. Now this slide is performative, right? So we're going to perform a quick exercise, and I have listed our names into groups, into teams. So we have team red and we have team green, right? So I want to believe that everyone here has been following with everything I've been saying. I've not just been talking to myself. I've not just been rapping. And sorry, I talk quite fast. I've been trying to watch my pace, but for some reason, because of time, of course, I'm trying to put time in check as well again. So this is time for you to speak to me because I've been speaking a lot and I want to hear your voices. But before you turn on your mics, I want you to look on the screen clearly and see the team that you fall in, right? Now, this is just a very easy exercise, so don't get tensed or don't think about it too much. Don't say, oh, don't think about what you want to say, right? Now, in case I didn't touch on this part, as a customer service person, you have to be very confident. If you're shy, you have to bury it. You have to build your confidence. If you need to go the extra mile, if you need to watch TED Talks, if anything you need to do, right? If you need to talk to a professional to build your confidence. As a customer service, it is very important that you're confident, because your confidence will sell you in rooms that your skill cannot sell you, right? For some people, there was a girl that onboarded in my department with one of the jobs I do. My one of the directors has said it clearly during one of our meetings that she was not the best person during the interview. They only took her in because she was very confident, even though she was confidently saying rubbish. People want people that can stand up to customers sometimes, not in a bad way, but you are able to be in charge of conversation, right? So you need to be very confident as a customer service. That is one core skills that I didn't mention in the slide, but very important. You want to build on that. You don't want a customer is trying to intimidate you and you're allowing them intimidate you. No, you want to be on top of the conversation, right? So you're not rude, you're not of course excusing making excuses for your company, but you are in charge of the conversation. Very important to build on your confidence. I just had to say that so nobody shy away from participating in the program we're having shortly. So I like to think that while I was talking, you've been able to figure out the team that you're part of. So quickly, every one of us we're going to vote one person to represent our team. So Stephanie, Azara, Gift, Chisaba, Tare, Benediti, Uche, and Chiamaka, you're going to vote one person in your team. So we'll go first with Team Red. I just want you to write one person's name in your team. It can be yourself, it can be any person in your team. The person with the most mention gets to carry out this exercise. So we'll just go quickly. So I'll have us start writing, putting down the names in the chat. So we can start now. I'll be looking at the chat box, so please go ahead and leave the person's name in the chat, please. And we're starting with Team Red, so basically Team Red. Just Team Red, so Team Green, you just hold on first, and we'll start with Team Red, so we don't get the names mixed up. I'm waiting on you guys, so just type a name in the comment, please. Okay, so Uche says Uche. Stephanie, I'm waiting on your comment. Azara, I'm waiting on your comment. Gift, I hope you're here. Chizuba, I hope you're here as well. Fare, I hope you're here. Benedict, please leave a comment. I'm waiting on all of you. All right, so it feels like I'm the only one here because I can't see the rest of the persons. Nobody's leaving a comment. Gift, I know you're here. It shows that you're here. Please, can you leave a comment? Zara, I can see you're here. Can you leave a comment in the box? Chizuba, that's why I said we should join in with our names so I'm able to identify everyone here. Someone has dropped already. Hope they didn't run away because of this exercise. So there's a number of persons that are not here, and I'm not sure why we're not responding. Okay, for some reason, people keep dropping. Are you guys scared of the exercise? It's nothing serious, so it's just something very easy, right? So it's not that serious. So I'm waiting. Can you guys hear me, please? If you know you can hear me, please give a thumbs up. If you know you can hear me, actually, give a thumbs up so I know you can hear me. All right, thank you, Dapper. I mean, okay, I got a number of hands, but Team Red, I don't know why they're not responding. Okay. Uche, is it Uche? I see your hands. Are you trying to raise your hands? All right, so Uche is in Team Red, and since no one is volunteering, I think we'll just go with Uche. And Team Green, please can you pick someone to represent your team? You can just leave the name in the chat section. Um, okay. So, Simeni said Simeni, Victoria said Victoria. So that is a tie. Any other person from Team Green that wants to vote for someone in Team Green? All right, so Helen says Victoria. And any other person, please, before we go ahead. I am waiting. So I'll just give 1 more minute for someone else to contribute. So is there any other person from Team Green? I don't know. We're all here. Is a number of persons here, but we're not speaking. We're supposed to be 2, 4, 6, 8. I know it's a number of persons that didn't join because I mean they said they wouldn't be able to join in today. All right, so Victoria takes the vote. So Victoria will be representing Team Green, and I think Uche will be representing Team Red. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Gift. So we'll just go ahead with the exercise. So I'll tell you what the exercise is about. I'll just move to the next slide. Let me just zoom in a bit. Okay, this works. Okay, so basically, Team Red, Uche, is going to play a frustrated customer because I like to think that as human being in one way or the other, you've had an experience with a customer with a terrible customer service. So you want to play a frustrated customer anytime that you got to experience bad customer service. And Team Green, Victoria would actually play a great customer service. So Uche, you want to act as the frustrated customer, and Victoria, you want to act as a great customer service, and we'll all have our mics turned off and we'll listen to how you handle that. Now, for this exercise, I'll tell you what, I won't be contributing. I won't tell you what you did wrong. I won't tell you what you did right. I will just leave it to you to understand and tell me what you think you did great, right? So you're not going to be the one that will speak for your team. The other persons, all of your other team members will be the one to vote you. So people from Team Red will be the one to tell us what they thought Team Green did great, and of course, vice versa. So I'll just let you go ahead. So Victoria, are you ready? Please give a thumbs up if you're ready, and of course, Uche, if you're ready, please give a thumbs up. I can see our hands. Okay, Victoria is ready. Uche, are you ready? All right, so you guys take the floor. Make it quickly, make it brief, and of course, have in mind everything we've talked about today. Use the last method, Victoria, to attend to Uche. And Uche, you can pour as much as frustration you want on Victoria. Victoria, you have the core skill of a great customer service right now, so use it and attend to Uche. Go ahead, I'll mute my mic.
Okay, good evening, everyone. This is Uche, Team Red. So I'm playing the
Okay.
frustrated client, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. This is Victoria. I'm playing the great customer service rep. Okay. Good evening, Mrs. Uchi.
Good evening.
My name is Victoria, and I'll be your customer representative for this
Please, I don't
evening.
need all those introduction. I've been trying to subscribe my data since morning. I've been trying to subscribe. I have data. I already subscribed. I already bought the airtime. But it's not, I'm not seeing the data. And you people have debited me. What's the meaning of this? Is my money now.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Uchi, for expressing your experience to
You should not
us.
be telling me thank you. I
That
don't need you to thank me. What is happening? What can you do about it? If people don't want me to sub, send me back my money. And I've gone to the bank, and the bank said the MTN has already collected their money. Please, you people should give me back my money. I beg you, cannot be eating people's money all the time.
We apologize for what you're experiencing, and we're working very, very hard to ensure that you get the best experience. We'll do all that we can very possibly fast to get you a refund or to stabilize your network because we understand how this can frustrate
That's
your
giving me
job or
joy. Can you start working? Can you start doing something? Eh? When you go to
yeah, we're
record, you are
working
speaking plenty English.
we're working on it. We're truly sorry for what you're going through. Thank you for your patience. We're working on it, ma'am. Thank you so much. In less than 2 minutes, you get your network restored.
In less than 2 minutes, I'm going to call this number back. If my network is not restored, I will curse you. I'll curse out on you. I don't care if whether you like it or not. I'll curse out on you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We understand your pain. We understand. You definitely get a response from us. Thank you, ma'am. Have a good night.
You too. Good night. I think that's all.
All right, thank you so much, Uche. That was beautiful. I loved the display of that. I love the drama. So like I said, I was not gonna comment on this. I'm trying so hard to hold myself. There's a lot of things I have to say, but I would want for someone in Team Red, which is your team, Uche. I think Gift Hands was up at some point. So Gift, what do you have to say about the customer service that Uche received?
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, Gift. What do you have
Are
to
you
say about the customer service that Uche received?
guys? No, I wasn't hearing Uche properly, but I was going off and on. If you could notice, my connection was trying to mess up the whole thing. But I know a little bit about, I heard a little bit of what you said about customer service and the example references you made with these Uber riders and the rest. But with my own little understanding about customer service is about how you relate to people that want a service from the organization you're representing, how you relate with them, and it's very important to cultivate the habit of patience and understanding when dealing with other clients.
All right, thank you so much, Uche. Beautiful contribution. I appreciate that. I think you
No,
were lost at some point. You didn't get the part where Uche and Victoria took out their little act. I think you didn't get that part of their section, but you'll be getting the video. So I'm sure when you listen over time, you'll get to see that part of the video. So Benedict, I can see your comment in the comment section. Can you just, Benedict, I want to know, are you in Team Green or Team Red, just to be sure?
Yeah, I'm into red.
All right, Team Red. Please go ahead and tell us what you think about Victoria's service to Uche.
Okay. She did so well. She was able to stabilize the customer by telling her to calm down. Then she gave her a solution to her problems.
Okay, so this is your opposing team or your opponent, and you're giving them. What are you scoring them on a scale of 1 to 10? What do you score Victoria?
8/10.
8/10. Okay, if you say so, who am I to judge? I mean, this judge is quiet on this one. So, Benedict, you're gonna play. So we're gonna play reverse role since you're in Team Red. Seme was the only one that raised his hand after Victoria, so I think Seme will play for Team Green. So now we are switching role. Seme is the frustrated customer, and Benedict, you get to be the great customer service, right? So you will be attending to Semine. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, and I apologize for that. So Victoria, I said Victoria. Benedict, you have the floor. Semine or Semeni, you also have the floor. So please take it up. You're the frustrated customer, and Benedict will offer you great service. Let's see how this plays.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. This is Simini for Green.
All right, good evening. This is Benedict for Team Red.
Good evening. Is this the Samsung customer care service?
Yeah, you're on to Samsung customer service. How can I help
Um,
you, sir?
I'm calling to register my displeasure. I really don't know what to do about it. So I got a Samsung S23 from you, from an accredited shop. And you know how you package your things where everything is sealed up, and once
Yes.
the seal is broken, there's nothing I can do about it. I got home and found out that instead of a 256 gig storage, it's a 128 that's inside. But the carton says 256. And I've been trying to reach out to the store I got it from, and they said there's nothing that they can do about it. I feel cheated.
All right. Very sorry, Sarah. I'm sorry for that. But you tried calling back and they couldn't give you a feedback, right?
Oh, actually, I went there and they said there's nothing they could do about it because the IMEI and serial number matches, and they feel that it's a factory error and they can't do anything about it. I spent a lot of money. You know how difficult it is to save up money in this climb, and Samsungs are not things you can play with. So what can I do about it?
I understand your plight, sir, but I urge you to, if you can, just go with that because I can see that the IMN and every other thing matches with it, and it's from the
You don't
factory,
understand. So
not.
so I'm using I was using a lower Samsung, a 128, and my storage is filled up. As soon as I switch phones and transfer my data from the previous phone to this new one, everything is filled up. And you know the Samsungs don't come with storage, external storage slots. So what do I do about it? I'm feeling cheated. Is there anything that really can be done? I would like to return it. I'm not even asking
Okay,
for my
sir.
money back. I just need a replacement.
All right. Okay, sir. What will happen is I will send a mail to our head office, and once they give me a feedback, I will send it back to you so that we know what we can do about that.
For how long am I supposed to wait?
In the next 2 business days, you get a feedback mail.
Today is a Friday, so I have to wait till Tuesday. That's
Yes, sir.
terrible, but it's all right. It's all right. I'll hold on.
All right. I'm very sorry. So, is there any other thing I can do for you apart from that?
No, that'll be all for now. I just look forward to it being resolved.
All right. You get the email. Thank you very much, and have a great day.
All right, thank you so much, Benedict. Thank you so much. Simini, please, can you just repeat your name so I pick it? So I don't keep Simini. Okay, I'll have that in my Simini. Thank you. So thank you. That was a beautiful display. I loved it. And thank you so much, Benedict. So someone from Team Green, I would like for you to rate the service that Simini received. So Victoria, you want to rate the service and tell us what you think about it?
Okay, sorry, the network was bad, so I didn't get towards a bit towards the end. But the beginning and through the whole process of the conversation, I liked how um, she carried on with the customer. She wasn't she was patient. She listened to his plight and his complaint, and she was able to bring him back to sending the mail. Yes, so that was quite engaging. Although there was a point that she said, I'm sorry, that's how it is. So I think maybe if she didn't say that's how the phone is in her, it won't have spiked his anger. But apart from that, she was able to bring him back to submit to being pacified with an email. So that's why I want to say she did very well.
All right, so on the scale of 1 to 10, what do you want to grade her? As a great customer service, right?
Okay. I can give her 7.5.
7.5. Okay, so like I said, I wasn't going to speak on this because I want to leave us with something to digest, right? I mean, so far, I like to think that I have put out my best. I've given the best of myself through this training. And of course, I'll be leaving also with the video for us to go through it and understand again if there's any points where we lost some information. But I'm just going to put out something very tiny, right? In customer service, you want to understand the customer's complaint thoroughly again, which is part of listening before you respond to them. And in understanding their complaints, it covers a lot. It entails understanding if this customer really patronized your service. So you want to check, you want to confirm information like their name, you want to confirm information like the time, you want to confirm information like the amount, you want to confirm certain information. Either you're running a check on your own platform or you're asking the customer just to confirm before you respond to them or you resolve their complaint, right? So you don't want to work on assumptions. So customer come in, they're saying, "Oh, this happened, this did not happen, or this happened." You don't just want to assume and buy on that. So you want to confirm either on your platform that this is our customer at this point in time they purchased this thing, they purchased this service or this product, and now they're coming to complain about it. You, of course, using your refund policy or whatever it is, you want to attend to that appropriately while apologizing. So your conversation should be centered on apologizing. Your conversation should be centered on solving the problem. So you just apologize to, of course, appeal to their emotions so they're able to wait while you solve their problem. Of course, you thank them and always ask for feedback. Um, as a customer service, you know when you offer a great customer service. So you're not going to go ask a customer that is very furious for feedback because they will give you the worst of all feedbacks. So for customers like that, you just ask, "Oh, would that be all, sir?" And if that is all, you just thank them for their time and tell them to have a good day. If they decide to give you a rating or a feedback, by all means. But for some customers, I mean, you know that they're agitated, but you still just want to chip it in. That thank you for your time, sir. If you actually avail yourself to give us a feedback so we know how well to serve you best next time. So yeah, you need to understand your customer languages, body, of course, emotion in dealing with them. So that's all I have to say, and we'll just jump in to the next slide. So again, thank you so much, Victoria. Thank you, Semini. Thank you, Benedict, and thank you so much, Uche. This was a very beautiful display. It's very interesting and important for me to know that if not everything, that you're not picking everything, you're picking at least one thing from everything I'm saying is very important for me. So thank you so much, right? I really enjoyed the display. And of course, I don't agree with the grading that you've given yourselves. But again, like I said, I will not be too hard on you today. So yeah, I'll just move to the next slide. So this is a bit faint. I would just zoom into this a bit. And so I created interview questions. I don't know. Okay, this is still small. Let me zoom in more. Possible interview question. I don't know if you guys can see this. It's still tiny, but I like to think that you should be able to see it at this point. So I created 5 possible interview questions because I believe strongly in me. I have prayed fervently before this training, and I'm trusting God that if you're looking to get a job in the line of customer service or freelancing any moment soon, so long you put to good use everything we've learned today, you're consistent and you're intentional about it, you will land a job, and not just a job, a good paying job very soon, right? So I put out some interview questions that will guide us in that line for the interview you'll be having very soon. And first on the list is tell me about yourself. I'm not going to dwell on this because it's a lot to deal with and we don't have time on our side. So there are 5 interview questions. This was not part of the training, but I've just given us this as bonus because I believe and I have faith that a number of us will be attending interviews very soon. I'm going to provide us with this template so you go over it on your own. Pick out the key things. If you want the guide on how to answer interview questions, you can as well reach out to me in the DM and I'll guide you on that. But I'll just speak on tell me about yourself. So when you apply for interview, you're being interviewed, right? And you're asked, tell me about yourself. This is where you sell yourself to the recruiter, right? So be very prepared for this question because in most interviews, they will ask you. In some interviews, nobody asks you questions like this. Some people just know that you're a professional, especially in the line of freelancing. They just want you to give them your proposal and tell them how well you can do the job, and they'll get running with that. Someone have their mic on and it's a bit distracting. Please check if you have your mic on. Please, can you mute it? I'm not sure who have their mic on, but it's distracting. Please, can you check your mics to be sure you don't have your mics on? Okay, I think that will be Gift. Let me just mute her from my end. All right. So we'll just get into the business. Yes. All right. Please, who have the mic on? I'm a bit distracted. Who is this person? Please, if you have your mic on, can you turn it off, please? Oh my goodness. All right, thank you. Sorry, I don't do well with distraction. So by all means, if you're like me that don't do well with any form of distraction, as a customer service, you always want to be in a quiet environment when you're working, so you don't get to lose track of what you're saying or what you're doing. Very important. So like I was saying, I was speaking on the interview question, and I said I was just going to speak on the first one, which is tell me about yourself. So when you're being called for an interview and you're asked, tell me about yourself. First things first, you want to acknowledge the opportunity for being interviewed. So you want to tell them, thank you for interviewing me today, or thank you for inviting me to be interviewed. And next thing, you want to introduce yourself, which is your headliner on your maybe your social platform. So you want to say, oh, my name is. For some persons, they don't care to say their name. They just want to jump into introducing their headliner. But if you want to, by all means, please go ahead. I always introduce myself with my name. So I say my name is Ngozi Uzu. I'm a customer service and communication specialist, and in my line of service or in my line of work, I offer a wide range of services inclusive of networking, telemarketing, cold calling, lead generation, phone call, emails, and chat support, right? So let's say I'm applying for the job of an appointment setter. Now I've sold the services that I offer. I want to say specifically in the line of appointment setting, this is what I do. So basically, in the line of appointment setting, I focus on turning cold calls into warm leads, helping customers, helping brands and businesses connect to prospective customers, and of course, build efficient service, right? And the next thing you want to sell metrics, right? And in selling metrics, of course, it has to do with experience. So you want to say, I've worked with a number of various industries, or I have been opportune to work with a number of industries, and you can just call the name of the industries. So personally, I can say I've been opportune to work with a number of industries across different time zones. So like industries like fintech, energy, finance. Okay, fintech is in line of finance. Healthcare, logistic, consultancy is a lot. It's a lot of them, right? I've worked with quite a number of industries, and while you're mentioning that, of course, you were mentioning time across time zones, so they know that you're not restricted to a certain time, and you can work within any time frame. And you can just sell your metrics in that line, since you've already introduced that, and say within the time, or this experience that I've had has strengthened me to be adaptable, and of course, it has given me the room to learn, to build my skills. And now you're selling metrics, right? This is where metrics comes in. But like I said, in the line of selling your skills, you want to introduce the tools you've used in your experience. So you can just say things like, I'm proficient with the use of CRM tools like HubSpot, Zendesk, Freshdesk. Just put that out to them. And you can say, in one of my previous role, I did this, so, right? I can just say, in one of my previous role, I won the best telemarketing agent 4 times in a row and went on to be awarded Staff of the Year because I was able to convert 40% of initial cold calls into warm leads. That is metrics, right? So I've sold the awards I won, and I won that because I was able to do this, so they know that this person is good on the job. Now you sell that, and the last thing you do after selling the metrics and selling yourself and your experience and your skills is call to action. So again, you want to tell them that, oh, thank you. I believe that my skills and experience, or I would love to bring my skills and experience to your team. So however, whatever it is your skill is or your experience is, you want to package it in a way that is very welcoming to their hearing. It doesn't have to be lengthy. It doesn't have to be vague. It doesn't have to be cliche. Customer recruiters and hiring managers, they know when you're faking it. They know when it's rehearsed. They know when it's crammed. So in preparing for your interview, it has to be part of you. As much as you want to, go over your question, read it out to someone, interview with someone, could be a friend, could be your sister, could be yourself, make a video of yourself. Try as much as possible to be very natural, because recruiters can tell when you are faking it, or when you're just not necessarily faking it. They can tell when it's crammed and you're just reading what you've crammed. So you want to make it as natural as possible. Like I said, the last one is call to action. So I would love the chance to be part of your team. Or I would love the opportunity to bring my skills and my experience to your team. And thank you very much, right? So, like I said, I'm not going to touch on this because it's quite a lot. I just remembered something that I put at the last slide, which is, do you have any question for us? Which a lot of people skip during their interview. So I just was just going to touch on this before we run off. Whenever you attend an interview and they said you have any question, please always ask a question. By all means, have a question, right? Even if it's just one question, have a question. But before you ask your question, thank them for acknowledge the fact that they gave you room to ask a question. So just tell them, thank you for asking. And for most people, what they'll usually ask is, I want to know what success looks like in this role, maybe in the first 30 days, or in the next 60 days, or in the next 90 days. You want to have an idea what success look like. Do they easily, like the last interview I attended, I bombarded the HR because you see the way you make me uncomfortable during interview, I'll make you uncomfortable too. Is you don't want to go overboard, right? For me, I've attended quite a number of interviews, so I know when to draw back and I know when to push it going. So you want to, of course, understand your audience, right? These people are human beings like you. The only difference is that they're the hiring manager at that time. I've done the job of a hiring manager as well. So you're the hiring manager now. You could be the hiring manager tomorrow. So again, be very confident. Don't go into your interview scared or worried. Don't go into your interview nervous about anything. You want to go into your interview with every confidence, knowing that you have the skills, you have the experience, and you have the technical know-how, and you can do the job, right? So again, you ask questions. And another question that actually put recruiter on the edge is you ask them if you're a good fit for this position, right? So I have here, so it says that the second question is, yeah, thank you for asking. Okay, I want to know what success looks like. Um, also for 90 days, because for me, I don't just want to fill a position, I want to exceed, blah, blah, blah. And okay, based on what I have shared today, do you feel that I'm the right person for this team? Questions like that will put the recruiter on the edge. Now it gets them thinking because if they're going to like interview for a number of persons because you've asked them this question, they really want to. If they've not like been taken aback at everything you've been saying, at that point they're taken aback immediately, right? So for some recruiters, they would of course not answer to that because that is either telling you that oh you've been employed immediately. So they'll find a way to go around it. But again, somehow you just put them on the edge to think about you at that moment. So very important you want to ask key question that would sell you, right? And this the other question, I'm trying not to talk about it, but because I have them in front of me, I just feel like talking about it. When they say, why should we hire you? This is where you package yourself. Anything that you are, package yourself and sell yourself. 100%. Can you give an example of how you solved a difficult problem? For this one, I'd always advise use the last method to explain it. So you can build a story, but build the story using the last method. It has always worked and it will always work. Recruiters, they understand very well the acronym of the last method. You don't have to tell them you're using the last method, but when you're selling a story with the last method, they know that this person is using the last method. And that is very key because the recruiter know that you've done your assignment and of course you're ready for the job. So that being said, we are going to run to the next slide because we are almost running out of time, and as a great customer service you want to keep to time, very important. So the next slide says, are you ready for a test? So I want to see a thumbs up. If you know you're ready for a test, I want to see everybody give a thumbs up. Quick, quick, quick. And this, everybody will participate. I have 10 persons here, and all 10 of you will participate because I'll be looking out for your response. So are you ready for a test? I am waiting on you. Zara, you've been really quiet throughout the section. I don't know if you're busy, but I'd like you to give a thumbs up because I want every one of us to participate in this test. I'm waiting on our thumbs up. Benedict, Chiamaka, Helen, Nancy. I don't know if you're here. There's a number of persons that are not in attendance, surprisingly. But good thing we have a video so they can go through it. So I'm waiting. So if you're not giving a thumbs up, I want to assume that you're not ready for a test. But whether or not you are or you're not, you're going to be having a test today, right? And I'm going to tell us how this test is going to run. It's a very easy test, so you don't have to panic at all. This test is just to make sure that everything being said today, you understand to a great level and you are ready to put yourself out there in that sense, right? So the test is going to run for 1 minute 40 seconds. each question is going to run for 10 seconds. At the end of 10 seconds, I will move to the next question. Now, what you do for me is in the chat section, you will type your response, but you will not send it. So for number one, you just type the response. You want to add number one to it is fine. You don't want to add number one. You just want to put the response. They come with option A, B to A, B, C to D, right? So you can just put number one is A, or you can just put A, and of course you go to the next one. There are 10 questions. When you're done with the 10, you send it on the chat. So all 10 questions you send at once. Do not send your response one by one, please, so it doesn't get messy. And of course, I can't really tell when you send it that way if you're responding to the right question or not. So we are moving to the test, and I believe you guys are ready. So I'll start counting as soon as I display the test question on the screen. 10 seconds begin, right? So we'll start counting now. All right, so we have question one. Define customer service. Now, customer service is best described as, I'll let you read so I don't distract you. So the time start counting now, 10 seconds. All right, Nancy, you still made the same mistake. Nancy, you still made the same mistake. Do not send your response. No, don't do it this way. Nancy and Helen, don't send your response, right? Like I said, just type it in your chat, but keep it there. Do not send it. When you're done typing all your response, that's why you're making the same mistake as well. Do not send your response. Have your response typed out, but do not send it, right? So don't send the chat, just type it. And when you finish answering from number 1 to 10, then you can send your response. Please, nobody should send their response again until you're done with all 10 questions before you send your response. So nobody should send their response. Victoria, you made the same mistake. Do not send the chat, right? So when you go to the chat box and you type something, you don't have to send it. You can just go to the next and type it. So I'm just going to type my own response and send it as well, so you guys see what I'm talking about. Don't send your chats, just type and leave it there, please. Very important. I want all your answers to come together. Please, if you understand what I'm saying, can you just give a thumbs up so I know we're following? All right, thank you very much. So all your chats, all your response, please, will come together, not one by one. Thank you. So we'll go to the next question. So 10 seconds is counting now. All right, 10 seconds is done. The next question. All right, third question is done. We'll go to the fourth question. All right, 10 seconds done. We'll go to the fifth question. All right, fifth question done. We'll go to the sixth question. All right, we'll go to the seventh question. Okay, we'll go to the eighth question. And the ninth question. And the last question. Oh, yeah, let's see my response. You boys send the answer now. You can cheat. All right, but that is fine. So everybody send your response, your answer, please. We're done with 10 questions, so everybody send your answer. I need you to send in your answer. Send in your answers. Send in your answers. Uche have her answers down. Sime has his answers down. I'm waiting on the rest persons. Victoria, your answer. Benedict, your answer. Everybody sending your answers, please. Victoria, you here? Where are the other persons? Did you partake in the test? If you don't send in your test response, you don't send the answers, no certification for you. So it shows that you did not write the exam and you have failed. So, so please send in your test response. I want to see everybody's test response. I like to think that everybody was carried along. So send in your test response. I'm waiting. Okay, I don't know why it's just two persons that sent in their test response. Okay, three, which is sending has as well. Benedict, I know you're here. Where's your test response? I hope you're not copying people's response, right? Oh, okay. I hope nobody is copying anybody's response. I wanted us to send in our response at the same time, right? So I know that everybody followed, and I like to think that every one of us here are smart people, and of course, we understood everything. I mean, the test is a very simple test question, just to carry us along and be sure that we understand everything that's been said here today. So I'll just share the test answers, and you, of course, check and see how you did with the question. All right, so these are the answers, so you can just check yourself and see how you did. So I won't be able to check for everybody's question, but of course, for everybody's response, like I said, it's nothing serious. You know how well you did. You can see the response. So if you got a 10 over 10, I would like to see your response in the chat box. If you got 2 over 10, please leave your response in the chat box. You'll be the one to grade yourself and tell us the truth. So by all means, I want to see what are your scores. Give yourself a score in this chat box, please. You guys are not grading yourself. Did you fail? If you got a 10 over 10, you can just type, oh, 10 over 10 or 10, 10. Nancy had 9 over 10. That was really honest of you. Thank you. Oh, Victoria, your network looked you off. Sorry. Semini got 7 over 10. All right, Dapa, that's fine. I'll share the video with you. I mean, we're almost rounding off. We're just at the verge of rounding off. So a few more clips and we're done. So it's fine. You can. I mean, this is the end of the section, so you can actually leave now. It's fine. Thank you so much, Dapa. So I got 9 over 10 because I didn't get question 2. Okay, Uche, that was beautiful. I mean, from all the response, everybody did really great. 7 over 10, 9 over 10, pass mark, and well done, guys. So I'll just quickly run over through the test questions so I see where you guys got made a mistake. So define customer service. Customer service is best described as selling product to customers, assisting customers before, during, and after the purchase, which is B. So we all know that we all got this. And importance of customer service. It helps reduce companies' expenses. It builds customer loyalty and retention. It eliminates the need for marketing, which is not true. It guarantees no customer complaint, of course, not true. So the answer is between A and B, which is B, right? So 3, Which of this is not a core skill? Is not a core skill for customer service. Aggressiveness is not a core skill for customer service. That's D. The last method, the S in the last method stands for what? Solve, of course. So that is B. So if you know you failed any question, of course, you'll be able to find where you failed the question, because I'm just trying to do the correction. Now, which of this is the best way to respond to an upset customer? Calm down is not a big deal. Wrong. That's not my job. Wrong. I understand how frustrating this is. Right. It's our policy. Nothing can be done. Wrong. Which of this is not a recognized customer service niche? E-commerce and retail is recognized. Sales and tech is recognized. Travel and hospitality is recognized. Construction site management is not. So the answer for that is D. Tools of the trade. Which CRM tool is especially popular with Shopify and e-commerce? Georgia's, Amadeus, Salesforce, and Jira. The answer is A, which is Georgia's. Um, which of these tools is a cloud-based phone system used for cold calling? Cloud-based system used for phone calling. So this one, the answer is already there looking at you in the face. Of course, is B, Aircall, because the rest are actually CRM CRM tools for either texting or emails. Now, the real world scenario, a customer comes to complain about a delayed order. What should be your first step? Interrupt and explain company policy, listen carefully without interrupting, transfer them immediately, tell them to send an email. Of course, B, listen carefully without interrupting. And last one, which statement reflects a customer friendly attitude? There's nothing I can do about this. Let me see how I can help resolve this for you. You'll have to wait. We're busy. That's not my department. So B goes, because B is the answer. So again, these are the answers. And thank you so much for participating in this. I'll just move to the next slide. So the next slide is just basically me bragging to all of you. And this will be you bragging to the next person when you put everything you've learned here to good use. I like to believe that if you put everything you've learned today to good use, you'll be the next person bragging about your skill. So here is just key performance indicator from one of my jobs in the past month, right? So this was from the third week of May, and here you can see that the customer happiness rating. I'll just zoom into this a bit so you can see it. Let me see how well you can see this. Okay, I'll zoom into it more because I can see it's better on my end. Okay, this is too much. Okay, I think this is better. So you can see that I cover the names of my colleagues. So I mean, company policy, I can put people's information out there. So again, I attended to a number of people. 64 people thought I gave a good rating. 3 thought I just did I gave a good an okay service. So they didn't think it was too good or too bad. They were just in between. And 7 customers said that they hated the service. It was very terrible. Now, as opposed to 7 to 64, of course, I gave my best shot, and I like to think that I gave a great customer service, right? Like I said, customer service is not the absence of bad service or bad experience. It's just you giving your best at every point in time. So I'll go to the next one. Okay, I have 2 slides here, and of course, you see my KPI. Here on the average response, let me just zoom in a bit. You see that all 5 of us in the customer service section, we responded to customers that came in within the first minute. That is why you're seeing 1 here. So within the first minute the customer came, we all picked their chat and responded to them. So average response time, 1 minute. Average resolution time, this was how long we took to respond to them. So here we attended to them immediately within 1 minute. This was how long the conversation or the chat took. And you see mine here. Let me zoom in a bit, increase this. I don't know if you can see it, but because I'm zooming in, you might not necessarily see it. So I'm pointing my tab here. So this is my name here, the first one, and I have the lowest resolution time. I was able to respond to that customer's complaint and from beginning to the closing within 2 minutes, right? And when I slide to this point, the same thing. Here I was able to cover their complaints within 3 minutes. And of course, all of the team responded within, we picked the chat within 1 minute. And this person had a terrible response time, which is 30 minutes. This is actually very bad. You don't keep a customer on the chat for that long. So something might have resulted to that. And here you can see 56 customers thought I did great. 1 customer thought I did bad, okay, and 6 customers thought I did bad. But as compared to every other person's rating, and of course, from my good rating as compared to my bad rating, you see that I'm doing beautifully well, right? So I just wanted to, like I said, brag a little. And because I try to attend to customers within the best time possible, you see that I get very positive reviews. So Ayo here says, I don't know if you guys can see this clearly. Let me zoom in a bit. So Aya here says the best customer service always come true. Thank you for coming through. So wow, you just made my day is a default comment that you get when the customer comes in. And Oluchuku says he or she was amazing and very helpful, very patient and listened and understood the complaints, blah blah blah. Very beautiful feedback. And every other feedback that I got from the customers. I just put a number of them here, and there are numerous very beautiful feedback I would usually get, but I didn't want to bore us with all of this. Like I said, I just wanted to brag a little. And this is the one I talked about from the beginning. Last year, I won the best rated customer support of the year. And I was just trying to zoom in so you guys can see. So I won the best customer support of the year. And this is because out of all the customers I attended to in the year, 389 customers gave me good rating, 45 gave me an okay rating, and 62 thought that the service was very terrible. So as compared to 389 as compared to 62 customers who didn't have a good service, well, I like to think I did absolutely well. And you see here, it resulted to me being the best rated customer support of the year. And also here you see fastest customer support to respond and resolve customers' complaints is Ngozi. So I got all of these accolades and award thanks to being very proactive, mindful, and of course empathetic, right? And this brings us to the closing of the day. I'm just gonna zoom back into this. And yeah, so just to recap, service is more than just answering. So service has to do with a whole lot of personality. Like I said, you want to be empathetic, you want to give your best at every point in time. Skill equal empathy, patience, and clarity. Very important. You want to build on these core skills. And great service equal happy customer. So if you beat your chest and say, I actually give a great service, then of course you can confidently say the customers are happy. So I'll just take a question. If anybody have a question, I'll take a number of questions and we'll call it a wrap for the day. So if you have a question, please just signify by raising your hands and I'll take your question. And that will be it for today. We're already eating into out of our time. It's 8 minutes past our closing time. So quick question before we. All right, Semini, you have a question. Please go ahead.
So it's not exactly related to what we did today. Would there be
Okay.
a section for a session for revamping CVs and profiles on social
Okay,
media
that.
pages and all that?
Well, that will be in our next section. We'll touch on that. Oh, sorry, I muted my mic. That will be
Okay.
in our next section. We'll touch on that.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Then you talked about the WhatsApp group.
Yes. Do you have my
Okay.
direct number?
No, I don't.
All right, I'll just leave it here in the chat section so you can just copy and you can chat me out on WhatsApp. I'll add you to the group.
All right. Thank you.
751446. You're welcome. 06. Would that be all of your question?
Yes. Thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome. So, Victoria, you have a question.
Career start for us. Are we advised to have a written down intro and exit like notes on how to respond? Like we're seeing some of our feedback. So
Yeah.
sometimes that thing a bit lengthy. So do you normally have a note on your like your beginning what you say before you start a conversation and what you say when you're ending the conversation? Is this supposed to be written down somewhere?
Yes, anyway, depending on the nature of the job. So if you're calling, of course, you have to be proactive and have everything you want to say on your head or have it written down somewhere and read out to the customer. And over time on the job, you get to build all of that and you're comfortably able to speak and not just read through on any written note, right? But when it comes to chats, I mean, chat is easier because you can have written templates. It's very okay. I mean, over time, you want to even build and rebuild your template. So by all means, you would have templates that you share to customer. It even makes your work really quick. So instead of you typing all the time, you can just copy and paste a template. You already know what this complaint is, and you've built a template around that complaint, right? So you just copy and paste. So yes. Did I answer your question?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay, so would that be all?
Yes, yes, that's all. Thank you.
All right. So any question again before we call it a wrap? All right. So with our raising of hands, I believe there's no more question, and this brings us to the end of this segment. Again, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone that attended. I appreciate your time and, of course, the resources that you've put into this. It means a lot to me that you, of course, you can trust me with your time and your money. So thank you so much. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time. Please let's make sure to come early and let's make sure to come on time. Please let's make sure to join at least 5 minutes before. Let's make sure to join at least 5 minutes before the close time. Thank you so much, guys. And again, I would want your review in the group. I would want your anywhere you want to send your review. You want to send it on LinkedIn on our page. I want your review on our page and on LinkedIn. But most importantly, I would actually want your review on LinkedIn when we're done with the section. But maybe at the end of today, you can just take your time whenever it's convenient by you and just leave a review in the group. Very important for me. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate your time. Have a good night. Thank you.